Hi everyone, I hope you're all okay and found the multiplication with the area model helpful yesterday. Today we are going to be looking at multiplying 4-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers. So the first thing I would like you to do is watch this video which goes over known facts in multiplication. So that is going to help you with your multiplication today. Once you've done that, come back to me. Okay, so we are looking at doing 321 multiplied by 13. And as you can see, we've got the grid method to help us to start with. So, as we did yesterday, we are going to do this top row times by the left-hand side column. So, to start with, we are going to do 300 times 10, which will give us 3,000. So, you can use your known facts to do that. Then you are going to do 20 times 10 to give you 200. Then you're going to do 1 times 10 to give you 10. Then you're going to go to the second row. So you'll do 3 times 300, which will give you 900. Then you're going to do 20 times 3, which will give you 60. Then you are going to do 3 times 1 to give you 3. And then you can add them together. So I know that if I do 200 add 900, that will give me 1,100. So I've got 4,100 if I add those together. Then I can add my 60, so I've got 4,160. Then add 10, so I've got 4,170. And then I've got 4,173 when I've added my 3. Okay? So now we're going to have a look at putting this into formal method, okay? And formal method looks like this. It's like the column method. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down step by step, and we're going to find where we can find the multiplication in this grid here. So let me show you what I mean. So to start off with, I'm going to do 1 times 3. So in my grid, I'm going to find where it says 1 times 3. So here's my 1. And here's my 3. So here is my answer to that. So here I would put 3. And then here, this number represents 20. So here I can say I'm doing 3 multiplied by 20. So I'm going to find that on my grid. So I've got 3 and I've got 20. So my answer is 60. However, I'm not going to put 60 because that would give me 603. I'm already in the tens column, so I only need to put the 6. Okay, so we can see we've got 63. And then I'm going to do 3 times 300. So I need to find that in my multiplication grid. So I've got 3 times 300 here, gives me 900. Again, I'm not going to put the full 900. I'm only going to put the 9 because I'm already in the hundreds column. Okay, then I'm going to move on to the tens column of 13. So I'm going to do 10 times 1. Which is here to give me 10. Okay, then I've got 10 times 20, so I'm going to find that in my grid to give me 200. Again, I don't need to write all of 200, I just need the 2 because I'm already in the hundreds column. Then I'm going to do 10 times 300, which gives me 3,000, as we can see in our grid. And again, I'm not going to write 3,000 with the zeros, I'm just going to put the 3. Because I can now be in the thousands column. So then we need to add them together. So I've got 3 add 0 is 3. 6 add 1 is 7. 9 add 2 is 11. So I've got my 1 and I need to carry the 10. So then I've got 3 add 1 gives me 4. Nice and simple. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm going to show you what each of these lines represent. So on my top line here, I am representing 321 times by 3. So I'm doing this top number times by the 3 of 13. Then in my second line, I am representing 321 times by 10. The 10 comes from the tens column in 13. So I've partitioned my number. It's similar to the grid method. However, we don't have to draw the whole grid, we are splitting it up simply on lines. And then as you know, we've added the two together to give us the answer. Okay, So I want you to pause the video and I want you to have a go at this, please. 423 multiplied by 21, and then we will go through the answer. Okay, so first off, you should have started with 3 times 1 to give you 3. Then 1 times 2 to give you 2. Then 1 times 4 to give you 4. So we have got the same answer as the question because we have times by 1, and 1 times by anything is the number you have times by. So 3 times 1 is 3. You know that, okay? So this time we need to think about our placeholder. So you know that. So we know we need a placeholder in because our number is getting 10 times bigger. We didn't need to do it with this one because our number was 10. However, because that isn't going to be 10, 10 times 1 even is going to be 10. So we didn't have to put a 0, but for this one we do. We need the placeholder in there. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 times 3 to give us 6. Then we're going to do 2 times 2, which is 4. Then 2 times 4 to give us 8. Okay, so just as we did before, but we've made it simpler this time. So instead of saying 1 times 20 or 1 times 400, we are simply just using the digits as they are. So I'm going to add them together now. So I've got 3 add 0 is 3. 6 add 2 is 8, 4 add 4 is 8, and 8 add 0 is 8. So our answer you should have had is 8,883. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So again, you've got 272 multiplied by 33. So pause the video and have a go, and then we will come back. Okay, so you should have started with 3 times 2 to give you 6, 3 times 7 to give you 21. So remember, we keep the 1 there, and this time we need to carry our 2. Okay, so that's the 2 we've carried, so we don't forget. Then I'm going to do 3 times 2 to give me 6. And then I'm going to add on these 2 I've carried because remember, we can't have more than 9 in one column. It doesn't work. So we have to carry that over to the next column. So in this case, we've carried the 10s to the hundreds. So I've got 3 times 2 to give me 6. Add 2 gives me 8. Okay. Oh. That gives me 8. Okay. Then I need to remember to put my placeholder in because the digit I'm using now is 10 times bigger. So I need to make my answer 10 times bigger. So then I'm going to do 3 times 2 to give me 6. 3 times 7, which will give me 21. So again, I keep the 1 in my hundreds column. And then I'm going to carry the 2 into the next column. Okay. So that will sit here. Then I'm going to do 3 times 2, which will give me 6. Then I'm going to add the 2 to give me 8. Then we will add them together. Okay, so I've got 6 add 0 is 6. 6 add 1 is 7. 8 add 1, remember this is used, we use this here, so we don't need to add the 2. We've got 8 add 1 to give me 9. And then again, remember this 2 is what we've carried over. So we've got 0 add 8 to give us 8. So our answer is 8,976. Okay. Hopefully you're all okay with this because we've done lots of practice on this in school. However, if you do need help, please let Mrs. Willis and I know and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So today you are doing lesson 2 on week 3 of the summer term. If you are silver, you are doing questions 1 to 2, gold 3 to 4, platinum 5 to 8, although you could have a go at all of them if you would like. I know a lot of you are doing that anyway. Again, if you need any help, please let us know and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.